What is up, everybody? It is Tuesday, October 15th, and we took one great trade. We took a short trade here. Overall, the market just sold off like crazy. But I only took it up to this 4 hour fair value gap. Oops, the thing's not showing again. Sorry, guys. You may have noticed in my last videos I keep doing this. I don't know why my OBS decides to freeze, so I have to relink it. But anyway, I took the short up until this 4 hour fair value gap. I thought we were going to sweep this and then continue going higher. I obviously missed out on this entire run, so let me just put this back up to there. I got a nice 1 to 2.9 risk to reward on this. Very solid day. I was very happy about that. I took some of my position off here at that low right there. But let's get into why I decided to go short. So on the 4 hour time frame, we know we have been very bullish overall. Just price action seems to continue being bullish. We did have a market maker buy model here that I wanted to complete at this level, which we did on Monday. We just ran right into that. Now, if you remember yesterday in my video, I did say how I thought there would be accumulation here and then manipulation on up and then distribution down. And I was targeting basically the fill of this 4 hour fair value gap right there. If that were the case, which as you can see is playing out very nicely. We did invalidate two 4 hour fair value gaps there. And we are still hovering within this one that is holding us very nicely. We swept that low and that low, so we could potentially see a move back on up. We'll see what the overnight action brings and how that will act. If we fail to invalidate any bearish PD arrays within this drop here on like the 15-minute or on the 1 hour, or if we get some kind of rejection off of equilibrium as well, we could definitely see price move down into the target that I called out before any move back on up, which honestly at this point I think may be the case. We might retrace back up and then continue dropping to target these levels. This here is OTE of this range from here to there. It is OTE of the range, so we could come back here and then continue going on higher. I do think we are going to target all-time high soon, but we definitely needed this retracement. So we'll see what that brings. But yes, overall on the 4 hour time frame, I was watching this 4 hour fair value gap to be held. If we were going to continue moving higher, potentially sweeping that low right there. On the 1 hour time frame, I was marking out this right here, this 1 hour fair value, or sorry, not that fair value gap. This 1 hour fair value gap right here, which I thought would be perfect to sweep it, hold it, and then continue moving on higher. And then on the 15-minute time frame, the one thing that I noted as well was the fact that we had this 15-minute fair value gap here. So I thought, hey, we could definitely come sweep that and then continue higher. Overall, I was expecting that, but I didn't mark this out. But I noticed this 1 hour fair value gap right here, where I said it needs a 1 hour close above to go higher. And we did get that 1 hour close at 10 o'clock, but I'll show you why I ended up going short. So overall price was ridiculously choppy here at the open. It was just chopping around, taking out lows, taking out highs, coming down, almost sweeping the low, didn't take out that high. Now here, as you can see, price moves on up, invalidates this 1 minute bullish or bearish fair value gap, potentially marking the fact that we were going to be bullish, right? Then at 10 o'clock, I wanted to wait at that point for after 10 o'clock to see if it was going to end up holding us, because still we were in that 1 hour fair value gap and it was holding us down. So I did not feel comfortable taking that bullish setup until a higher time frame aligned with that order flow, which would have been that 1 hour close above. Price moves on up, invalidates that, invalidated this bearish fair value gap, starts to retrace, comes back over here. So at this point I was like, all right, if it continues moving on up, I'm going to look to see it create a higher high, and then I'm going to enter in long, especially because we have that 10 o'clock candle closing above the level that we needed. So that was furthering my bullish bias. But if you notice, we have the low, we have a high, we have a higher low, we have a lower high, another higher low, and then boom, another lower high. So it was broadening, right? The structure was just not there. The one thing I marked out that I said to myself, if this small 1 minute fair value gap right here fails, I'm going to enter in short because of the fact that we had bullish structure forming, right? We swept that low, created a break of structure to the upside here. We have this swing high right here. And then here we were retracing and started to continue. If we didn't get that continuation and we created a lower high, I said that around here, then I was going to enter short if we invalidated that. If we were to displace above that high, then I was going to look for a retracement to enter in long in the continuation of that. I was, of course, leaning bullish, but open to the fact that we could be bearish because of the fact that what I mentioned earlier, that 4 hour looking like accumulation, manipulation up, and distribution down. So as you can see, price closes very small. So I waited a little bit to see what price was going to do. Price starts to shoot down aggressively. So then I decided to market ordered in here. This was my fill. And then I put my stop above that high. Ideally, my fill should have been right at the close of that candle. But I just was hesitant just because of how price action was acting. And as you can see, price just drops really aggressively down. I take some of my position off at, where did I take it off? Right here at this level, which was the low of London, because that is an area where we could sweep and then reverse back on up, especially because it was within this 15-minute fair value gap. So I took the majority of my position off here, put my stops to break even on my runner, and that quickly just tanked and it hit my last take profit. Now, I did not expect price to move so aggressively down. Like, that's crazy. That was, I mean, great. I should have left another runner for that, but regardless, I can't be mad at the fact that I hit a 2.9 risk to reward. I read the market really well. I was patient. I waited for confirmation and I got a really nice trade in. Now, let's say you missed this whole thing. All right. I know people were trying to long down here, but let me show you why that is not the case of what you should have done. Go to the 15-minute time frame. What do we have here? We have a low. Okay. If we're going to move back on up from this low right there, you should expect price to create structure that is bullish on a 15-minute time frame and invalidate bearish PD arrays if you want price to move higher. I would not have been looking for longs until a 15-minute candle closes above this level here, just to be sure. Okay, yes, I know there are people who end up getting in here, and that's great and dandy for them, but I want to make sure that I get secure plays that align with my trading model that I use day in and day out. Okay, I would have waited for a 15-minute candle close above this bearish fair value gap. Just because we're sweeping a low, don't go looking for long entries on the 1 minute time frame. Do not, I repeat, do not do that. I can't tell you how many people tried that today and got crushed because price didn't show any reason why. Also, what else do we have? We have a low right below this. Like, we came very close to it. We also invalidated this 15-minute bullish fair value gap right here after 11:45. You could have looked for a short. Could have looked for a short entry. What's the short entry? A bullish 1 minute fair value gap getting invalidated after 11:45, right? Where's 11:45? Right here, okay? So you wait for a bullish fair value gap to get invalidated. Wait for time to align with it. Right? You're not going to take one in Q1. You wait to see what Q2 does if it manipulates above this high. And it does. Okay. Let me get my drawing tool out here. In Q2, what do we have? We have this right there. We have a bearish fair value gap get created. Or a bullish fair value gap. It gets invalidated at the close of that candle there. Could have entered in here. Put your stop. Wrong one. Entered in here, put your stop above that high. Target the low of day if you'd like, or this level, or the next area of liquidity, which was, wait, did I tag that one yet? I did. Oh, it was right here. Sorry, it was like so close to the fair value gap. Or there. You get your low of day here at 3 p.m. So you entered in around 12:30. It was a 3-hour trade. Low of day. And then you would have gotten your full take profit, a nice 1 to 3.85. Now, I don't trade the PM session. Okay, so I did not take that. But I did tape read this one here in Q4. We were so close. We were dropping. And when I saw the chart, I was like, oh, let me see if there's a bullish one that gets invalidated. Oh, right there. Okay, entered in right there. Stop above that high. This is a 1 to 6. As long as you know where price is going to go, just look for a place to enter. Okay? No reason to have been bullish at this point. No reason. Like I said, the last line of defense was this 15-minute fair value gap right there. Let's mark that out as a 15-minute fair value gap. And it gets invalidated at noon. Sorry, noon was after looking at 12 o'clock is when you could have entered. Price will eventually retrace on a smaller time frame. Wait for the time frame alignment. Wait for Q2, Q3, Q4, somewhere around there, okay? Somewhere around there. Don't be entering it on Q1 on the micro sessions, okay? This was a good trade. This was a good trade. Even this was a good trade. No reason to go long. And then the other thing that I forgot to mention, if it does sweep that low, all right, which we didn't get the invalidation of it until noon, why are you looking for a long trade here? It broke structure. If it is going to be a long trade, you're going to look for a retracement of some sort. But I want to see something get invalidated on the 5-minute or, I don't know, something. Yes, there's a 5-minute fair value gap right here, but this is in discount. You want something closer to premium. You would probably want a 5-minute candle close above here. So what you would like to see is a big displacement on up, retracement down. If you get that validation of this getting disrespected, that's bullish order flow. We get the retracement here on the 1 minute. There will be a bearish one, a bearish fair value gap. Then you enter in on the invalidation of that bearish fair value gap. You put your stop below this swing low, target the high of day. Simple as that. You need to be patient. Stop being so hungry for entries just because it sweeps a high or a low. You're going to get crushed like that. That's what I used to do. And it doesn't work. You have to look at what is the draw on liquidity. Here, the obvious draw was this low right here. Price moves so aggressively down. Why is it doing that? Did it hit its objective? No, it came down in here. There's nothing being held anymore. It's going to hit this. Let me find an entry. Simple. Okay, so I hope you guys ended up agreeing. I know this was a longer than usual one, but a lot of good gems in this one. And I will catch you all tomorrow. Peace.